In this video, we'll discuss Charlie Munger's inversion thinking, or how he avoids investing stupidly. Before we begin, please do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more information on investing and saving money. Let's get started with the video. A question about the principle of inversion was once posed to Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett during an interview. Perhaps you can help us by suggesting what to avoid and stay away from, specifically what in today's investment world strikes you as a folly, a fad, unsustainable, crazy, or dumb, the interviewer asked. In response to the question, Buffett says a lot. We try to stay away from things we don't understand, he says. He continues with, and when I say I don't understand it, it's not because I don't completely understand it. In general, you would understand what a particular company does. When I say understand, I mean that I believe I have a good idea of what my earning power and competitive position will be in 5 or 10 years. So I have an idea of how the industry will develop and where the company will fit into it. This eliminates a whole bunch of things, and then, if the price is crazy, as long as I understand it, you narrow things down and get to a particularly small universe. He continues, when we're dealing with large sums of money, as we are now, the idea that someone is bringing something to market today, a seller who can choose when to come to market, and that security, there's going to be a lot of hoopla surrounding it. For example, it will be the single cheapest thing to buy out of thousands of businesses worldwide. But that's nonsense. Or it will carry a 7% commission, but it's actually higher. So you know right away that it can't be the most appealing thing. People get excited about what's coming. But if you have thousands of opportunities among stocks all over the world, and most of them aren't being promoted or sold with special commissions in them, and then some other stock is coming to market that day, and then the seller chooses the time to bring it rather than just this auction market, then you know it just doesn't make sense to spend 5 seconds thinking about new issues. As a result, we don't think about them. There are industries that we know have a bright future, but we have no idea who the winners will be. So we don't think about them either. So there are a lot of things we don't think about. Charlie and I have a number of filters that things have to go through very quickly before we're willing to think about them, and sometimes we're thought to be rude. Warren Buffett adds. Charlie has probably considered it more frequently than I have. People sometimes think we're rude because they call us and start explaining some idea to us that doesn't work for the first builder or two, so we just think we're saving their time. We do that if we simply state politely that we have no interest and don't want you to finish the sentence. That's the allure of this business. You don't have to know how to spell 500 words or anything to make it to the end of the spelling bee and beat everyone else. You just need to do 1 or 2 things every now and then where you don't make a big mistake and one works out really well. You're confident in the outcome. A major disaster is not possible. And you already know that's what we try to avoid. We never want to lose a significant portion of Berkshire's net worth, and we haven't yet. Before we continue with Warren and Charlie's invaluable advice, please like the video and subscribe to our channel, as it would definitely be appreciated. Now let's get back to the video. There are a few simple guidelines to follow. If it has a high commission, forget about it, Charlie Munger says. Don't read it because the chances of someone who is paying a high commission giving you a big advantage are very slim. Another thing to look at is a location. Examine what other wise people are purchasing. This is not a crazy search method, rather, it is a sorting device for potential opportunities to consider. Buffett mentions Charlie, who used to devour Graham Newman reports as soon as they were released. If Graham was doing something, he says, it was certainly worth his time to investigate. Warren has made so many people wealthy that he is unaware that he simply copied him. Charlie Munger says, always invert. Flip a situation or problem upside down. Consider it in reverse. What if all of our plans go awry? Where do we wish not to go and how do we get there? Make a list of how to fail instead of how to succeed. Through sloth, envy, resentment, self-pity, entitlement, and all the mental habits of self-defeat. You will succeed if you avoid these characteristics. That is, tell me where I'm going to die so I don't go there. I think part of Berkshire Hathaway's popularity is that we look like people who have discovered a trick, Charlie says. It isn't brilliant. It's all about avoiding stupidity. Ben Graham's margin of safety concept is a great example of this, a simple concept that people tend to overthink. The concept is simple. If you buy a company for less than it's worth, even if your valuation is incorrect, you can still do well financially. For example, if we buy a company for less than 30% of its intrinsic value, we build a cushion based on our calculations to help avoid costly mistakes. Seth Klarman refers to value investing as the risk averse approach because of the desire to avoid mistakes. This, I believe, is why Buffett's rule number one, don't lose money, is so applicable to value investing. Avoiding losing money or doing something stupid helps us win in the long run. Don't complicate the margin of safety rule. Instead, calculate a company's intrinsic value using a conservative approach, buy with a margin of safety, and then wait. It's that simple. But we humans have to complicate things because we try to be too smart. That is why, rather than the system, the most difficult aspect of value investing is the mental, psychological, and emotional aspect. Another aspect of inversion that Charlie frequently discusses is the concept of loss aversion. When we fail at something, we tend to remember it, most especially if it's a painful experience. For example, suppose you buy a company and then the price falls and we lose a lot of money. That experience will stay with us for the rest of our lives and may even prevent us from ever attempting to reinvest. Instead, suppose you buy a different company and then the gain is the inverse of the loss. We tend not to remember the gain as well as the loss. Consider the first time you tried to strike up a conversation with a girl or boy you liked. It was embarrassing and you felt humiliated, but then you had a lot of successful interactions with someone you really liked, maybe even dated, but you still remember that one traumatic experience. We always feel much more pain from loss than we do from comparable gain. Larry Bird, the Hall of Fame basketball player, once stated in an interview that he disliked losing more than he enjoyed winning. This was a huge motivator for his success. Loss aversion is a strong motivator and an important component of inverted thinking. Approaching a subject and reversing the desired outcome can help you achieve the desired result while avoiding the loss. And that just about wraps our video for today. Did you learn a lot? Feel free to let us know in the comment section down below. Like the video and subscribe to our channel for more useful content like this. Because on our channel we discuss investing strategies and tips on how you can save money. We'll see you in the next video.